Hi, my name is Josh,
And I'm Amy.
and today we are getting together to start a diet vlog, a health vlog, because weight is something that I've struggled with and Amy struggled with, and I wanted something that I can use to help keep myself accountable for my diet so I don't just go off the rails. And so this is kind of what we came up with to sort of help in that process.
And to keep track, kind of like some people like to do like a journal, a daily journal of what they ate and what they did. This is going to be like our journal.
So we wanted to introduce ourselves and kind of give a little background. My name is Joshua, and I was a real skinny kid, scrawny. Got called beanpole growing up. I was always real small. Got called shrimp, and I would eat whatever I wanted. Loved to eat anything and lots of it. Wrestled 125s my senior year in high school. After high school, I gained a little weight, but still not too bad. And when I got to be about 27, I really noticed gaining a lot more weight. And of course, I lived during the super size me era of food where everything was about big portions and eating as much as you can and going to restaurants because they serve a lot of food for your money, and that was fine with me because I like to eat and I can eat whatever I want, and I didn't gain too much weight, so I liked it. But as I got older and my metabolism slowed down, I started gaining weight, and I didn't really notice it. It kind of crept up on me. And so when Amy and I got married, I was right around 200 pounds, and I was trying not to gain any more, but she cooks good and I love to eat, so I ended up creeping up to about 230, and I didn't want to go over 230, and that came and went, and I got to about 250 and busting out of my 38s pants, and so wasn't going to let myself get any further, but I still love to eat, and I didn't discipline myself, and now I'm wearing size 42 pants, and I'm weighing about 270 pounds, and so it's time to change that, especially when I see videos of me and pictures of me. I look in the mirror and I can see that I have a belly and I can see that I'm fat, but it's different when it's in a picture or video. I can really see, and it's a little disturbing that, oh my, look at me, I've really put on a lot of weight. So it's time to make a change.
All right, so my backstory is a little different. I look back at pictures of when I was a kid, and I can't believe how horrible I felt about myself already at about, I don't know, I was about 10, 11 years old in 5th grade, and I thought I was already starting to get chubby. I look back now, and I think, oh my gosh, what were you worried about? But all through middle school and high school, I would have a year where I would kind of chunk out a little, and then the next year I would get a growth spurt and thin out, and that kind of happened back and forth until after I graduated from high school and I was in like my adult sized body. I didn't like myself. I wanted to lose some weight. So I decided to just basically stop eating. And I was never a big breakfast eater anyways. I was never a big eater of school lunches. So or eating lunch at school. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me to not really eat much during the day while I was at work. And then I would come home and I would eat just like a small dinner or something to just keep me from feeling like too sick or too hungry. I would drink water during the day, and then that would be about it. And I would allow myself about a meal a day. It's usually like some sort of a snack during work. And I lost 40 pounds in a summer, and I thought, hey, this is great. I've lost some weight. That was the summer after I graduated, and then I started college, and I moved away from home. I was by myself, and I was living in an apartment with no kitchen, and so I started having to eat out to eat anything at all, really. And That didn't go so well. I hadn't eaten much over the summer, and it really wreaked havoc with my digestive system. And things evened out, but I started gaining weight really quickly. Then I went on a mission for my church for a year and a half. And during that time, I did a lot of walking. I don't want to say like there was food scarcity, like to the point where I was starving or anything, but I just didn't have the money and I didn't have the time to eat the way I had eaten before. So less food, more walking equals losing weight. And over that year and a half, I dropped about 3 sizes. I don't know. I didn't have a scale. I don't know what I weighed when I went on. I don't know what I weighed when I came back. But I was wearing 2 to 3 sizes smaller, and I was really excited. Wow, I didn't have to be intentional. It just kind of happened. And I was 22 and a half when I got home, and I kept the weight off for a good 6 months to a year. And then slowly but surely, being home, working, going to school, hanging out with friends, going out to eat a lot, not really being intentional about my food choices, I steadily gained weight until I was about 26 years old, 25 years old, for a couple years, and I had gotten all the way to 311 pounds, and I was a size 24, and I was flabbergasted. I could not believe I had put on so much weight in such a small amount of time. So I wanted to do something, and my mom was also struggling with weight at the time. And so we decided to do Nutrisystem. And although Nutrisystem's food is disgusting, and I would not recommend Nutrisystem, I did learn some really great things. And we bought 1 month's supply of food for each of us. And what 1 month's supply of food taught me was that I needed to eat about a 1,200 calorie diet. I needed to add fiber. I mostly drank water. And then the instructions for Nutrisystem was to go buy fruits and vegetables to eat with their pre-made foods, and then not to eat past like 5:30, 6 o'clock. So without really realizing it, I had started intermediate fasting. So that didn't last very long with the Nutrisystem food. So instead, I started buying Lean Cuisines. And so I would get up and I would have like a banana or some cut strawberries or apples and a Fiber One bar and a string cheese every day on my way to work. And I'd have that planned and ready to go. Then I would have a Lean Cuisine and a fruit, or Lean Cuisine and a salad, and have that at my lunchtime. And then I would come home and have another Lean Cuisine or a salad. And I was staying within 1,200 calories every day. And I wasn't eating past, like I said, 5:36, at night. And I increased my fiber to about 30 grams per day. And that helps you poop out about 200 to 300 calories. So that's also helpful. It also helps you feel fuller and not feel as hungry. So I did that for about, I want to say 5 to 6 months. And in that first 5 to 6 months, I lost about 72 pounds, and I was really excited. And about that time, 6 months in or so, I started exercising. I would come home from work and I would do a Richard Simmons Sweatin' to the Oldies tape. Then a month or so after that, I started walking during school, and then sometimes I would even walk a little bit after school or do a toning video. So I was up to about 3 hours a day of exercising. And in 10 months, I had lost 130 pounds. Then, after gaining a little bit of weight to a lot of weight between each pregnancy and having kids after meeting Josh, I am kind of back to where I started. I'm about 315. I'm unhappy with how I look and feel. I would like to have more stamina, more endurance, and be healthier. And even though I feel like I know what to do, I've had a really hard time getting started. And I'll talk more about this, but I have IBS, I have a sensitivity to gluten now, all of these things that have happened in the last 5 years that have really kind of railroaded my dieting and my making healthy choices. And it's been a bummer, man, but I'm ready to do something about it.
Yeah, we have a little joke between us that says the diet starts on Mondays. That's always when we're going to start a diet, and have started diets, and then whether they last for months at a time or just a couple
day.
days a day. That's kind of been the thing though. But well, today is Monday. But we kind of wanted to get this introduction out there, and then we will be posting videos either separate or together, probably at least one a week together, and then daily, the way our lives work out. I work a lot and I'm gone, so we'll probably be posting separate videos, and I'm not sure if that's going to be daily yet or not, but we will be posting our videos and taking you along on our journey, and hopefully you will be able to see the transformation of us, and it should be a good deal, and hopefully this will inspire you to make changes if you need to.
And I'm excited to share some things with you. I mean, this is something I've done before. I've lost a lot of weight, and I even kept it off for quite a bit of time, a couple times in my life. Getting pregnant really railroaded a lot of my weight loss things, but I'm not going to have any more children. I'm ready to go, and even though I've gotten older and my hormones are kind of crazy and things have gotten a little harder, I'm still excited to share some of the knowledge that I have actually gained over the years about losing weight, and then hopefully together we can keep it off.
Right. Well, so we hope you like and subscribe and follow us and come with us on our journey.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, see you next time.